I'm recording. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Welcome back to another episode of First Reaction Fan Reaction. I am your host, Cailin Clothier, and with me is my co-host,
Dara Whitman.
Oh, yeah. And we are still on The Legend of Korra Book 2 Spirits, episodes 5 and 6, Peacekeepers and The Sting.
Ooh.
All right, we're going to get started with Peacekeepers. You know, the episode is called Peacekeepers, but I feel like that is the opposite of what this whole episode is about.
Fun fact.
Yes.
Don't really remember this.
We're like, we just finished watching The Sting, and so I think we're both really focused on that. I think.
Well, I just feel like not much happened.
Not true. A little true.
Well, like stuff happened.
Well,
but much stuff I don't care about.
So after Civil Wars Parts 1 and 2, we are back in Republic City.
Hooray!
So we are done doing all that Southern Water Tribe stuff, and we are everyone's back in Republic City. We got Korra, Mako, Bolin, Asami, and Varric finally back in Republic City, and to greet them is none other than Lin Beifong.
Hooray!
I love her so much. She's like, hey, good job with starting a war, kid.
Which, like, did she? She did.
A little bit,
but, like, there was, it's kind of like the American Civil War. Mm-hmm. Did, like, one state started? No, there was a ton of problems. It was gonna happen.
There was a lot of problems.
It was gonna happen eventually.
So Lin Beifong, she's there, and she's like, yo, hey, thanks for starting this war. There's gonna be a peace march tonight in support of the Southern Water Tribe at the Cultural Center. And she's like, yo, Mako, you go there and you help maintain the peace.
Yes.
And Korra's like, hey, I want to go. And Mako's like, that's probably a bad idea because you should probably be neutral because you're the Avatar. And that's kind of a whole issue. And she gets really annoyed at that.
Which, like, I was debating, like, should she remain neutral? Like, I think maybe she just, like, shouldn't do anything at this point. Just to, like, figure out, stuff, I guess. I don't know. That was, like, a debate for me. I'm like, I don't know if she should remain neutral or not. Because, like,
right.
Like, we know kind of, like, what happened and how, like, it kind of got started and, like, the northern tribes were kind of not rooting for them.
Yeah, well, she has every reason to be kind of pissed at Unalaq, but does she have
every reason
to be pissed at the entire Northern Water Tribe?
Well, no. I mean, yeah, but they...
So that's where the question lies, I think.
I think the best thing should probably to be like, hey, I witnessed, like, some of this stuff, and, like, I have, like, witnesses to, like, certain stuff that Unalaq has done. Why don't I, like, help expose that?
Yeah.
And then the North can, like, take them down, and then we can be united. I just solved the Civil War, didn't I?
You just solved an entire Civil War. Congratulations.
Yay!
All right. So Varric is like, yo, Korra, we got a meeting set up with the President Raiko. He's the new president of the United Republic. And she goes off to do her thing, and then Asami's like, I'm gonna go check on my company. Mako's like, gotta do my cop stuff, and then Bolin is all alone. And he's
got nothing to do.
Yeah, he's all sad and stuff because nobody really cares about Bolin right now. And then Varric is like, hey, you ever experienced Republic City Night? And he's like, I kind of live here. And Varric's like, oh, no, buddy. So back in the South Pole, which I thought we just left, but here we are again with Unalaq is talking to one of his military advisors.
We're not there much, though, so
he's talking about the advisor stuff, and they're talking about all that kind of strategy and all the stuff that is really boring. And then Desmond and Eska come back, and Eska is still kind of got her wedding get up on.
She's still a bit pissed. She's a
little pissed about the whole wedding thing not really working out. And so Unalaq kind of lets us in on that. Like, he told Korra that, like, he doesn't need her to open the northern portal.
But he does.
But he really does.
Yeah.
And Desmond's like, why? And he's like, that's what I thought she needed to hear. So why don't you guys go out and go get Korra?
Hey, if you really needed the Avatar to open up the spirit portal, you know what was a bad idea? Everything that just happened. You know, it was a really bad idea. Like,
literally everything that happened.
Like putting her father in jail or like arresting her parents. Like maybe after she forgave them, you could have just been like, great, let's open up this the spirit thing, and then you could have done all that stuff. Just saying.
And so we introduce our C plot, or like our D plot. This is pretty low on the plot.
Is this the one I don't care about?
This is probably, because this is the back at the Southern Air Temple.
Oh no, I like this one a bit.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
And so Milo is trying to train his newly found lemur, whose name is Pokey.
Pokey.
And Tenzin is like, that's not how you teach something. That's not how you be a teacher. So Tenzin's like, yo, I'll teach you, kid, how to be a master trainer. And Milo's like, oh yeah, Dad.
Yeah, I thought this was cute.
It's cute.
Yeah, it's a cute little...
It doesn't really contribute much.
It's not cute. The plotline that I don't care about.
Okay, well, I don't know what the plotline... Oh,
no, you know.
No, I know. But it was kind of
actually, there's like several now that I don't care about.
There's actually a couple now going on that we really didn't need here. In the streets of Republic City, so that's when we have the Southerners. They're down and they're doing a march, and it's nice. And Korra is actually ahead of this, despite people saying neutral. And she's here at this
neutral
march.
Until you have evidence to expose somebody.
It's a nice march, like it's your standard kind of peace march, and then there's Northerners kind of like,
and I'm like, what could go
distance,
wrong?
Like, boo. And so Mako is, he's making his rounds. When he sees somebody, he sees some conspicuous people.
Yes.
Inconspicuous. Some suspicious. That's what the word I was looking for. So he starts following these guys, and he sees a guy push a button on a remote, and it sets off an explosion. There's an explosion in the cultural center, which isn't cool. That's bad.
That is bad.
Also,
very bad.
There's also a statue of Sokka in the front. The statue's in hard, but But like, man, this is Sokka we're talking about. Don't disrespect his legacy, because he already doesn't have much of a legacy here. Because
Hashtag more Sokka.
Hashtag more Sokka, please. So then there's like this whole explosion, and then Mako's trying to chase after the guy, and this guy turns out to be a firebender.
Yeah, that was weird.
Which is interesting, because you would think the people who were going to blow up the Southern Cultural Center would have been Northerners.
Yeah.
Because there's a conflict there. But it turns out this guy's a firebender. Hashtag most firebenders.
Yeah, but it seems like, as is revealed later, and what I also assumed, they were clearly like hired to do this. Yeah. So it's not their fault. They got paid.
It is sort of their fault.
Okay, it's sort of their fault.
But they're not, like, behind it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're not, like, you know.
And so Mako's like, oh, that's suspicious, and he gets the remote, and then he gets up with Korra, and she's trying to put all the fire out with her waterbending, and Korra's like, oh, man, these Northerners, they're crazy, and Mako's like, I don't think they're responsible for this.
And then
she's like, definitely responsible for this. I'm like, Mako, I don't think that's the appropriate moment. There's a lot of emotions here.
No, but like, they're fighting, and I'm like, oh, I care so much. I've always cared.
I'm just like, I feel like she's probably very emotional because like something representative of her home is blown up, and he's like, no, I don't think it was the Northerners. Like,
I think what he's trying to, because like, I'm upset with both of them, because kind of like, maybe he should have waited a bit and said like, I don't think it was the Northerners, because like at this point she's just like, fuck Northerners.
Yeah. So that happens, and then we go back to things that are a little less explodey. And Bolin and Varric are gonna go watch some pro bending.
Correct.
They have like a red carpet kind of thing. They're all taking pictures and stuff. And everyone's looking really, really
nice.
Snazzy.
It's nice.
Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Snazzy. Everyone's looking snazzy. And everyone's cheering for Bolin because, he's part of the Fire Ferrets. And everybody loves the Fire Ferrets. Even though they're terrible this season.
Well, that's not Bolin's fault.
Not Bolin's fault. But everybody still loves Bolin. He's hanging in there. And so he gets interviewed by Shiro Shinobi, who's everybody's favorite meta announcer. And basically, we find out that Bolin is pretty good. He knows how to get a rise out of a crowd. Mostly, he just says Republic City and fans, and people are pretty excited about that. So
he's like okay at it.
Yeah, Barrett gets an idea about. I think I found your true comment.
And it is such a brilliant idea. I love it. So this whole plot line.
Is that the plot you don't care about?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That's one of them.
I was gonna say, there's a couple here. I thought I wasn't sure what you were talking about, but yeah, no, I totally agree with you on that one. And so, but back next day, Korra and Varric are gonna go see Raiko, and there's this really funny scene in the beginning, where they're shaking hands, and then Raiko's like, "Okay, now smile at the camera." He's like, they hold off on talking business so they could do more publicity shots. Yeah, which I thought was really interesting. Some kind of commentary about something, I'm sure, is in there. But when they start talking down to business, Raiko's like, yo, we can't bring the United Forces down to fight the North. That's like a bad idea.
Is it?
Because he's like, well, this is a dispute between two tribes. You can't bring other people into this. Everything will just go bad. So it's not their
I was trying to like compare it to like the Civil War, but I'm pretty sure there weren't any neutral states.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, no, they weren't really.
Anyway, back to the point.
Anyway,
mm-hmm.
So and then because Varric is like, the North kind of blew up the cultural center last night, and Raiko's like, we're taking care of that, but just we're not gonna get involved in this war thing. Bad idea. And so Korra is very angry, so she goes back to Mako's apartment, and she's like, "Hey, man, I'm pissed." And then Mako's like, he's kind of right. And then she's like super annoyed, and she's like, "Stop taking a side." And he's like, "Why is it always sides with you?" And they have this, domestic dispute of sorts, which I know you love.
I do.
I know you love it when they fight.
I don't know why. I just like I dislike them as a couple. Like, is anybody else like agree with me?
Yeah, I agree with you.
Okay, good. Like, I don't really know why I dislike them though as a couple. It's just like probably because like I liked him better with Asami, and it's just kind of like I don't care
because there are better couples out there. Who knows?
It's probably, I guess, because like you can totally have like all of this like conflict going on and still have like a good couple thing.
Yeah.
But like all they do is either they're smoochy for a little bit and maybe have some nice conversations, or they fight.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, and like I guess because like also Korra's just being like so hot headed, and she's just all like, no, it's the Northerners' fault.
Yeah.
And Mako's kind of like, why don't we like actually like look at this? Because something like I'm like, look, I'm telling you something does not feel right.
Yeah.
Maybe we should look into this.
Yeah.
And she's like, no. And I'm like,
but he's a cop, honey. Maybe he has a good
Which
idea.
also brings up what I do like. I like Detective Mako.
We'll talk a little bit more about that, I think, next episode.
Yeah, we will.
We really get to see
I like
Detective Mako.
I just like Detective Mako because it seems like he found his calling.
CPD.
Yay.
So Korra like is storming off, and she wants to go talk to Varric, right? And then they come across Asami too, who's there, and they're like, yeah, let's go get angry at Varric or whatever, because
they don't want to get angry at Varric. It's kind of like they need to talk to him.
because they need a plan, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the guy who probably has the plan is Varric, because Asami's like, I need to save my company. Korra's like, we need some forces to go fight in the south.
By the way, I would like to point this out just because like I thought about this, even though it has nothing to do with this right now. Are like Korra and Asami ever gonna like? It seems like they're not friends.
Yeah,
Are they ever gonna get like friendly or like confront the fact that like, hey, there's a Mako right here?
I feel like there's a brick wall between us, and his name is Mako.
Yeah, like almost like, are they ever gonna like at least be friendly with each other? Because it's kind of just like, oh, like these two women who were just like there.
Yeah, I think especially this season. I mean, last season I think they got like 1 or 2 bonding moments, not a lot.
They weren't terrible. Yeah,
and they had like 1 or 2 bonding moments. This season, there's like no interaction between the two.
Doesn't that feel like was it the Bechdel test?
The Bechdel test? Do they fail the Bechdel test? I think they do this season actually.
Do they fail it?
This season.
What's the rule that like
not in future seasons?
What is it like? What do you need? Like 2 women?
It's
more than one woman who have a discussion with each other, and it's not about a man.
Yes.
Yeah, that doesn't happen.
2 named female characters who have a discussion about something other than a man. Doesn't happen in this. It happens in the first season.
At least, do they? What else do they talk about?
Because they're talking. Because remember they had that whole like she was showing her around in like the race car thing.
Oh yeah,
talking about. She's like, man, I thought you were girly, and she's like,
although technically, if it might pass because doesn't Korra have a conversation with her mom? I know it's about a man, but like it's like a family thing.
It's like a family thing. I think.
Does that count? I know like
it's all right.
Yeah, but it's not like a romantic guy. It's like a dad.
No, yeah, it's like that. Still a guy though. Still a guy, though.
Oh, okay.
I think it doesn't matter if it's romantic. I think it's just as long as it's about a guy.
All right.
Anyway, that was our discussion about the Bechdel test.
Yay.
But yeah, no, it's this. I will tell you that this season has the least amount of interactions between Korra and Asami. I'll leave it at that.
Great. Anyway,
so it gets better.
They're going with
they're talking to Varric,
mm-hmm.
and then so Varric has an interesting way of coming up with ideas. Where he eats a really hot pepper,
mm-hmm.
and then he hangs upside down. And somehow that's how he comes up with all
it
his
surprisingly
ideas.
worked, though.
And it worked. So his idea is that...
well, for Korra, the idea is...
Yeah, for Korra, the idea is, hey, why don't you just go talk to the forces, behind Raiko's back? Because, if they want to do whatever they want to do, like, that's their business, not Raiko's.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, oh, man, that's a great idea.
That is a great idea.
Then he's like, Asami, why don't you send your mecha tanks to the south? because like they need some weapons. You have weapons, and somebody needs weapons, and they're gonna buy the weapons from you, and that's gonna save your company. And she's like, bam, genius.
Although, can the Southerners afford them?
Sure, why not?
I don't know. I assume they didn't have it. I mean, I assume they have money, but like not like enough to buy a bunch of mecha tanks.
I don't. That's a good. I don't actually know. I mean,
like the basic idea is good.
The basic idea is good.
This whole thing works.
And then Varric is like, hey, I'm gonna make some some propaganda films to get people on our side.
Which good idea.
And it's gonna feature Bolin.
Hooray!
As the hero Nuktuk of the South, which is an allusion to Nanook of the North. I'm not sure if you know that.
Nope.
It was one of the first like documentaries, but it wasn't like a real documentary.
Didn't we watch some of that in?
I think we did in our intro to film class.
No, not film. I thought I watched it in
Did you watch it in history of film?
No.
I know, it's a famous one. All right, but
I watched it. I think I watched. What was that class that I took? I don't even remember. It was like media something. I took it like freshman year.
Oh, okay. Well, it's a if anybody knows Nanook of the North, that's a reference to. And so we're back in Bolin and Mako's apartment, and then so Bolin is talking. He's like basically just spills all the beans.
But it's the Mako. Like Mako's not gonna do anything with it. Of course, he's Mako.
Not.
He's on their side. He's dating the Avatar.
Yeah.
What could go wrong?
What could possibly go wrong? But Mako's just really like looking through the like his like records, trying to find the guy that he saw.
Yeah.
And he's really only paying attention to when Mako says that whole plan. He's like, that's a terrible idea. That's literally a terrible idea. You don't go around someone's back and then try to get the troops up. But we're like, Mako, come on, buddy.
Mako, it is a good idea.
It's
when you're trying to get shit done, it's a good idea.
Sure. And then we go back to our C plot, which is Tenzin trying to teach Milo how to train his lemur. So we kind of see that he's like, yo, Milo, you're like the alpha lemur. You can't have this little guy like sleep with you in bed. You can't like be rewarding him for bad behavior. And then Milo's like, being alpha lemur is lonely. And then Tenzin's like, hey, yeah, buddy, it's true.
Even though he, I feel like his relationship with his wife is nice.
Yeah.
And his kids, like him for the most part.
He understands. I feel like there's like some kind of point to be made there that I'm not sure.
Maybe it's like a character arc.
Who knows? I was trying to think about that one. Okay. Like, it would be interesting, certainly. So then President Raiko, our good friend, he's talking with Lin Beifong in the police headquarters, and Mako like comes in and he's like, guys, I figured out who this guy is. He works with the Agni Kais. And so then he gets these two idiot cops.
Oh, I hated them.
Lu and Gong.
They were not fun idiots. They were just idiots.
They were just jerk idiots, which is really the worst kind of idiot.
Yeah.
And so he's like, they're like, hey, you should just go in right now and just tell her all the information. Of course, Mako gets chewed out for that. Worst part was Mako believed them. Like, these guys are idiots.
Yeah, like, that's the only bad thing about Detective Mako, but I think it's something he can, like, grow into, saying, like, hey, like, you don't just barge in when you have very little evidence. What you do is you get a ton of evidence, and then you barge in and say, I think these people did it. Here's all my evidence.
Yeah, but also, like, I feel like Beifong should have known that these idiot jerk cops were idiots, jerks.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like Beifong's, like, on it. Like, I feel like she should have realized, come on.
She's under a lot of pressure, though.
I'm sure she is.
There's a civil war.
Yeah.
Somebody blew up a cultural center.
Yeah. I want to give you the benefit of the doubt, Lynn, but come on. Come on.
Yeah.
I believe in you.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then once that meeting is done, Raiko comes out, and then he goes up to Mako, and he's like, hey, so I heard you're doing a pretty good job as a cop, and also you're dating the Avatar. And he's like, yeah.
Is that all I am? I guess.
Mako the Firebender.
But I think that kind of is smart, because kind of like, like if we need information about the Avatar doing something, who can we go to? Her boyfriend, who happens to be a cop.
Yeah, and he's like, hey, if you knew anything, if you know that there is anything going on, you let us know, right? And Mako's like, oh yeah, he's like, remember, you're like under oath. You are under an oath to like,
And I'm like, oh no.
And so he doesn't say anything, and we're like, okay. And then he starts walking away, and then Mako's like, actually, there's something you should know. And we're like, oh, Mako.
Mako, why?
Mako, you did the thing. And probably it was a good move in the long run, but also Mako,
Was it a good move in the long run?
Probably. Honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I trust this, like, troop thing, though. and they could have helped out.
I do trust General Iroh.
Me too.
Speaking of General Iroh.
General Iroh's here.
General Iroh is here, and he's just a good dude. He's just a good dude. And so Korra is like, hey, we kind of need some help in the South. And he's like, well, theoretically, what if we just happen to send a couple guys down there? And
for a routine training.
And then we run into some aggressive North people, and then we have to defend ourselves.
We have to.
I mean, what could we do?
And we're like, great.
And we're like, great. It sounds like a great plan, except Raiko comes back, and he's like, remember that you are not in charge of the military. That is me.
Yep.
Sir. Fella. Lady. So don't, no ships are going to be leaving here, or else you're going to be court-martialed. And then I was like, okay, yeah, okay. Yeah, never mind about that. My hands are tied. And so Korra's like, maybe you should go to the Fire Nation and talk to the Fire Lord, who also happens to be my mom.
Oh, is the mom the Fire Lord?
Yes.
Cool. I don't know. Because I guess Zuko only had a daughter?
Yeah, well, he had a daughter. And we don't know if
I don't know.
he had more children.
I guess I assume because like most like royalty goes down like from the male for like I guess for the oldest.
I think Fire Nation is just firstborn.
Okay, cool. I respect that.
And also Zuko probably didn't give a heck about.
So then did Iroh is Iroh like not the oldest because then he would be the next Fire Lord. So should he be a general?
That's a really good question. I don't know where Iroh falls in that. Iroh too.
Because I get it if he's like not the oldest. Then obviously it's fine if he's a general, but like if he is like
general in the United Forces, which isn't even like it's like
I assume that there must be. Yeah, must have an older sibling then.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Who knows? Who knows? That's a really good question. So if the writers of the comics are listening to this,
let us know.
I have another request for you. Just stop by my office and we'll have a talk.
What office? We're not that rich yet.
Listen, we can certainly make one. Anyway. And so yeah, and so he's basically like, hey, go check out the Fire Nation, and maybe my mother can help. And he's like, all right. And so then we go back to we're back to the set of your favorite franchise.
I don't know what I hate more.
Nuktuk.
I don't know what I hate more. This or the relationship crap?
That's a really good question. So Korra shows up there and she's like, hey, Bolin, can you watch Naga? I'm gonna go off to the Fire Nation. No big deal. He's like, yeah, Raiko kind of came and he was being a dick.
I just thought of something, but okay.
Ooh, what?
No, because I was confused about something for the next episode and then I just remembered it.
So, okay, good. And then he's like, I don't know how Raiko found out about all this, and because it was only you and me and Asami and Varric who knew about it. And then Bolin's like, oh yeah, and Mako. Because I told him. And then Korra realizes.
Yeah. But like, technically, like, I don't think Bolin really did anything wrong because he didn't know that they were fighting. Mm-hmm. And obviously, they're all a team. So, of course, you're going to...
They are Team Avatar.
Even though somebody was not there, you still... Like, obviously, you're going to let them know.
It's Team Avatar, man.
Yeah.
And so, Avatar Korra, our good friend Korra, just is really pissed.
A bit.
And then she leaves. Mm-hmm. And then we're back to our C-plot here. Where Milo is... he's demonstrating how he's trained his good old lemur buddy Pokey
and some other lemurs,
and then
turned out
Tenzin like, wow, good job, and he's like, oh no, that's not all I did. So he has a whistle and he commands like dozens and dozens of lemurs to like they like fly in attack patterns or whatever.
And then Tenzin's kind of like, oh crap.
And then he's like, I've created a monster.
But then he kind of just like goes to his son and it's kind of like,
it's like, hey, why don't you just have fun with Pokey? We'll call it a day. He's like, thanks, Dad.
Yeah, I like that. I was like, no, I like the power now. It's like, no, I don't want to do this.
Yeah. So we learned a lesson about having fun versus being disciplinary.
Yep.
The answer is to always have fun.
Yep. Unless somebody does something super wrong, and then you'd be disciplinary. Anyway.
True. We are learning a life lesson today, folks. So then we're back at the police headquarters, and I wonder what's going to happen next. So Mako's there doing his own thing, and then Korra busts through the door.
Yeah.
She's kind of pissed.
Yep.
And she's like, "Hey, man, what the heck?" And Mako's like, "Wait, let me explain." And she's like, "You betrayed me."
Yeah, does he actually explain, like...
He doesn't actually get a chance to explain, I don't think.
These two are, like, real... You know what it is? They're, like, too hot-headed for each other.
They're both of them, yeah.
Both of them.
They need a little... we need some balance in this.
They both need people who can, like, calm them down.
Yeah.
And, like, maybe in Mako's case, it could be a very lovely woman with great hair. I'm just saying.
Who knows? And I feel like you're alluding to something.
Am I?
Oh my god. And so they're arguing because that's what they do. Mm-hmm. That's literally all they do. And they're both talking about their jobs. He's like, I have a job to do. And she's like, well, I have a job to do. And she's like, well, your job's always get in the way of my job. And then he's like, well, maybe we should just break up then. And she's like, what? What was that?
I don't think she understands, like, hey, like, if there's, like, severe conflict between two people, you should just end it.
It's better to just stop.
Yeah, I don't think she understands. I don't think she gets that concept of, like, no, just because we have severe conflicts and we fight a lot and we don't actually have any more lovey-dovey moments and, like, it doesn't feel like we're actually a couple anymore, that doesn't mean we break up.
Right?
Right? No, it totally does.
Oh, honey. Well, so they're broken up now, and then, not before Korra totally just, airbends his desk across the room.
Well, I mean, it's better than, what Lynn did.
Yeah, Lynn comes up and, like, what? She goes, what the flameo happened here? A fantastic line.
Yeah.
By the way. And, Mako's like, I think I just broke up with the Avatar, to which Lynn responds, oh, you should have seen Air Temple Island after Tenzin broke up with me. And I really wish I saw Air Temple Island after Tenzin broke up with her, because I would watch that episode.
I would too.
Let's be honest here. I would watch an entire series of the original Team Avatar's children just doing their own
thing. My god, that'd be so good.
All right, so if anybody's listening to this, I have a formal request. Please step into my office.
Anyway, okay, so then
so Korra's very sad. She's
sad.
She's riding to the Fire Nation in a speedboat. She has some tears of sorrow. And then everything's going good until she's
it's not going good.
Not particularly going well, but she's pursued by her cousins, Eska and Desna and Eska, who are also riding jet skis. And then so they start fighting.
There's
because
a fight.
She's like, my Bolin, and Korra's probably like, oh, this crazy bitch.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. This crazy bitch.
Crazy bitch. And of course, in the middle of this fight, though, because it's enough that they're fighting, even though Korra was totally going to win.
Something that's been missing in this a book called Spirits.
Yeah, a spirit comes, which is kind of convenient, given that this book is called Spirits.
Yeah.
And it's a giant spirit too. It's not one of those.
Oh yeah, it's
bigger.
huge.
It's like 3 times the size of any spirit we've seen so far.
Mm-hmm.
And so Korra, she's trying to fight this thing. She goes in the Avatar stage. She's trying to do the little swirly thing with the water. She's trying to calm it down. She's trying to spirit bend, and she gets really close.
She does it better than the last time.
She does a lot better, which I'm proud of her.
Yeah, good for her.
Except it doesn't work, and then she gets eaten by a spirit at the end, and the twins leave.
The end.
That's the episode.
The Avatar's dead. The end.
The Avatar is single and also dead.
Yeah.
Wow, that sucks.
That was a dark ending, but I'll take it.
That's it. That's the show. So what were your thoughts on this episode?
I don't really care.
No, it was a pretty episode.
Yeah, it was kind of...
It was entirely okay. Like, we got some plot here. Obviously, a lot of things were happening because we were finally back in Republic City. So I guess things feel good.
Like,
we're back in Republic
City. The plot lines, like, I didn't care about were just, like, fairly prominent.
Yeah. Right, okay, yeah.
But there was stuff I did, like I said, I liked Detective Mako. I didn't mind the little seed plot on the Air Temple Island thing. What else happened? I think that was basically it. And, like, basically, I think, like, I agree kind of, like, the plan that they originally, like, the plan they had, like, that Varric made up, it was a decent plan, I think. I think the better plan would just to be like, oh, no, we got to expose Unlock for everything that he's done. And then I think, like, once that's done, everything will be okay.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like, that's probably your best plan.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah.
And, like, not even, like, you gotta expose them to even, like, the northern people, like, want to agree with you. You can't. Right. Because that's the problem with, like, even, like, with the propaganda thing that Eric's doing, that's not gonna convince the northerners.
Yeah. So.
And I think it was, like, I don't know if I want to bring this up. I'll bring it up in the next episode because I have the same feeling for both.
Oh.
But, yeah, I don't really have much to say on this episode. It just kind of, it happened. It existed.
Yeah, but there was actually a lot happening if we go back and think about it.
I think a lot happened, but like I said, there's just, like, the only good thing is just kind of like, hey, look, we're done with this romantic plot line forever, God, I hope.
For forever, I swear. I'm crying inside. Anyway. So, that was
ridiculous. This whole thing.
Yeah, okay. We're done with that.
What was your opinion?
I thought this episode was like entirely, it was all right. A lot happened that's really important. But as far as like enjoyability of it, it was like a solid, yeah.
I guess. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I don't know if I really enjoyed myself.
Oh, that's
it just kind of happened.
It just happened. Well, if we talk about the next episode, will that make you more happy?
I guess.
All right, then I think it's time we take a break. And when we come back, we'll come back with the next episode. Episode 6 of Book 2, The Sting. Stay tuned. All right, and we are back with episode 6 of Legend of Korra Book 2, The Sting.
Da-na-na-na.
All right, so the title is pretty self-explanatory. I feel like it's not as misleading as the last episode title.
You're right.
The last episode title was very misleading because it's the very opposite thing. What happened in that episode was keeping peace. Anyway, so let's get started with the synopsis. So we get a nice view of a ship, just a random ship traveling southward.
Yep.
When suddenly bombs are thrown on board, and so a bunch of waterbenders ambush the ship, and the crew manages to escape. And they say
Varric's not going to be happy about
Varric
this.
is not going to be happy about this because this was Varric's ship. It was his stuff on it.
Well, wasn't there somebody else's stuff on it?
Sami's stuff was also,
which is what we actually care about.
Which is really all we really care about here. We just want to make sure our girl's happy.
Is Asami the only one who actually progressed as like a character? I mean, granted, she wasn't much of a character in the first book, and
she has like
but now like I like her more because like I feel like she has like a purpose.
Yeah, I think she's more of she's kind of a subtle character. Like she's doing stuff.
I like her.
Not,
yeah.
Outright about it, which is one of the reasons
she doesn't irritate me, unlike other people.
And so we're back in the southern South Pole and at the southern spirit portal, and Des and Eska are like waiting there for Unalak, and then he comes out from the spirit portal, and Desna's like, were you just in the spirit world? And he's like, that's fine. He's like, so where's the avatar? And they're like, the avatar's totally dead. She was totally eaten by a spirit.
Yeah.
And he's like, that sucks.
Which like I'm questioning, how did he get into the spirit world? Don't they need another portal opened? I'm very confused.
No, you can the spirit portal, you can just get into the spirit world. You just can't go anywhere else. You can just go in and you go out. But if the other one was open, then you can go from that spirit portal and then go over to the north spirit portal and then end up in the...
Where were they?
They're just in the South Pole.
Oh, I thought they were in the north. Okay.
In the South Pole. All right. So in Republic City, Varric, we are in kind of a movie theater. And Varric, we're showing the adventures of Nuktuk, hero of the South. And everyone seems to be really enjoying it.
Except for me.
Except for you.
I hate this so much. I really do.
Why? He's got a nice theme song and everything.
The theme song's fine. I think like, and I will bring this up later, I think it's just like, I hate, like, it's just like Bolin, because he's being such an asshole.
He really is. I think this is the lowest point we really have of Bolin's character. I think it's this specific episode is probably like the lowest. If that's the lowest, I have an opinion.
If this is the lowest, then like that, then I'll be happy with it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I don't think there's any other episodes where I'm just like, Bolin, my boy, please. And so, but everyone except Dara really likes Nuktuk.
I don't like that. I hate this. And also, what the heck? What did they do to Naga? I'm very mad about that.
Oh yeah, because
Naga was
transformed Naga. They put some makeup on her, and now she's a
panda dog,
polar panda. She's like she's some kind of panda, but like that lives in the south.
It's like why?
And Pabu talks now.
So does Naga.
Oh yeah, Nook terrible.
Anyway. I hate it.
Varric's like, yo, Bolin, you're a star now. And so we're going to keep doing these movers here to bring support for the Southern Water Tribe. And because propaganda.
Again, not the best propaganda, because I think you'd also want to convince the North. And all if you're doing is just showing, like, this one guy's like a mustache twirling villain and not, like, actually expose, like, what he's actually done.
Yeah, but really, where's the fun in that? Nobody's going to watch that. But everybody's
I don't care. It's the right thing to do.
So, so he's
again, I'm not having fun with this.
So with this propaganda, you know what, they can go to President Ryako and they're like, hey, you should really help because this is what people really feel. You got to get that public support up. And then, so Bolin is like, goes to the Ginger character, who, it's just a weak character. I don't care about this at all.
I would like, because
he's like, hey, I think there's some chemistry.
I think it's kind of like what
no.
It's this thing I kind of thought they were gonna do with Eska, and I'm wondering, like, I'm hoping that like the like 2-dimensional characters are just gonna like grow more,
or just drop off the face of the earth.
I would like it if they grew more.
One or two.
If they drop off the face of the earth, fine. Mm-hmm. But like, I don't know, like I like and like, yeah, like because I don't know, it's not that I like her. It's just kind of like I think it's like I can see the potential.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's always good to have that potential. And so. Julie comes in, the assistant, and informs Varric. She's like, hey, also one of your shipments was taken.
Yeah.
And so then they leave. Then we go to the police headquarters. Asami is totally freaked out. She's like, hey, that's, my company is going to go under if this keeps happening.
Yeah, and I'm like, yeah.
And Mako's like, hey, it's cool, like Beifong is in there, and they're questioning the captain of the ship. And also those 2 idiot jerk cops are there, but we don't really care. They're like, oh, yeah, they're like, everyone in there is like, oh, yeah, like, this is definitely a work of the North. Nobody's really investigating this like our good pal Mako, the detective, is.
Yeah. And then he wants to go in and question?
He wants to go in and question, but, God, he kind of makes an ass out of himself, doesn't he?
Like, here's the thing about Mako. He's just, like, he's somebody who's just kind of like, no, I know something's wrong. I need to expose it right now. And he just needs to learn that, like, you can't expose something right away. You need
because you need enough evidence.
Yeah, he doesn't have enough. He has evidence. He just doesn't have enough evidence.
He doesn't. Yeah. He's working on it. He's a naive young cop.
Yeah, he needs to team up with Asami, which I like.
Yeah, because and nobody's really listening to what Mako's got to say. Like, but
he's a big cop.
Yeah, Beifong is like, you are a rookie cop. I don't have time for this. And the 2 jerk cops are like, you're funny. So Mako's like, yo, I got an idea for an operation, but we're gonna do it off the books.
And I'm like, great.
Because originally his idea is shot down, and so Asami is all for this. She's like, yeah, let's do it.
She wants to get her stuff back.
She wants to get her stuff back. She doesn't have time to mess around. Like, things gotta get done. And so they're gonna set up a sting operation.
Da-na-na-na.
Which is conveniently the title of this episode. And so they need a bait ship. They need to get a ship somehow. And Varric is like, hey, I got a ship. But they don't tell him the rest of the plan. He's fine with that. And so they're gonna use a bait ship to capture the people whoever's doing this. They need some extra help with this. They can't just do this with 2 people. They need to get some assistance. So we bring back the triple threats who we haven't seen.
Also before that, I think he goes to Bolin.
Oh yeah. And
Bolin is being such an asshole.
Yeah, Bolin is kind of.
It's not even like funny anymore.
It's not. It's like not even funny. He's like Mako. He's like Mako's kind of being
and he's like
his own butt.
It's kind of like, you didn't help me out. Why should I help you out? I'm like, when did he not help you out? I'm confused. With Eska,
something like.
But
that.
he did help you out. He just was an idiot about it.
He wasn't good at it. Yeah. So Bolin.
And also, you didn't really listen to him because you tugged at the leash. You didn't rip it off.
Yeah, I think.
Also, Eska's crazy.
Yeah. I think it was also because Bolin didn't know what to do, what he was doing with his life, and Mako didn't really care. I think Bolin probably has some reason to be annoyed, but he didn't have a reason to be a jerk about it.
And also, like, it's probably, like, the fate of your friends.
Yeah, like, this is, like, a big deal, man.
Remember that? You know, your friends who you love.
Yeah. Like, what's that? And so, like, Bolin's kind of being, he's being a
asshole. We already said that.
Yeah. Yeah, but he's like, I think the star power has gotten to his head. Being very conceited in his ways. So really, Mako cannot get help from Bolin.
I'm very distracted by this.
Bolin is like, what?
I was distracted by the cat.
The cat's cute.
Yeah.
My cat is very cute.
Bye, cat. Anyway.
So yeah, Bolin is being a jerk, and he's too preoccupied with his B plot to worry about any kind of A plot. So Mako has to go to his friends, the Triple Threats.
Are they really his friends?
Not really.
No.
They used to work for him, but
yeah,
he's coming to him off the books, and he makes a deal saying that, hey, I know the Avatar, we're on good terms, kind of, sort of, not really.
No, not at all.
So maybe if you guys help us out, we can make it so Shady Shin gets his bending back, and also Asami's like, yeah, and I can give you some nice cars and stuff. They're like, that sounds great.
It does. Totally, I agree.
And then, so later we are on the ship, and then they're just talking with Two-Toed Ping, which is a guy with 2 extra toes.
So he has 12 toes.
So he's 12-toed Ping. There's one already on the
one for the book.
So he's like, hey man, what's it like dating the Avatar? And Mako's like, I don't really want to. And he's like, no, what's it like? And he's like, oh, we kind of broke up, and nobody really believes him. And Asami's like, what? You broke up? What?
I felt like she kind of said it more like as a concerning friend.
No, she did. She was like...
She wasn't like, oh, look, I can get back together with this guy.
No.
Especially, like, why would you want to get back together with Mako? Although, I approve of their relationship. Like, I think it's, like, better and slightly healthier.
Yeah.
But, like, after what Mako did to you, why would you?
I know. Honestly. So, but
Mako was kind of, like, horrible to you.
Yeah, she's kind of surprised, that they broke up, and she's like, why didn't you tell me? And he's like, I don't know. And so, but then we go back to our other plot, which I know you love. But Bolin is
still filming.
They're filming the Nuktuk, and he has a scene with Ginger, who's the actress lady who nobody cares about.
Yeah.
So, and he kind of goes off script, and he's like, let's kiss the lady.
Yeah.
And she doesn't really like that. And Varric is like, hey, why don't you follow the script? But also, that's a good idea.
Well, Bolin doesn't get the whole idea of acting.
No.
Which is...
Bolin doesn't understand that there's a difference between character and
person.
Actor.
Yeah, like, and Ginger kind of tries to explain to him, saying, like, no, like, my character is in love with your character, but I don't like you.
Yeah.
That's how that works sometimes. Like, you have two people, like, they have to, like, if they're really good actors, they can fake it. But then they're like, no, we don't like each other. And
unfortunately, Bolin just doesn't figure it out.
No.
So back during the sting operation.
Back to the better plot.
Back to the better plot. We're kind of Mako's kind of surprised that nobody has really attacked him yet.
It's like something's up.
So he goes snooping, and he hears that the Triple Threats have actually been paid off by somebody else to just distract him for a while.
Which I kind of figured, like, it wasn't the police force, because why would the police force do that?
Right, no, it wasn't the police. So Mako is like, yo, Asami, we've been double-crossed.
We need to go.
And then they escape on the speedboat.
Yep.
While the Triple Threats are trying to find them.
Yep.
And so there's a nice chase scene.
That was nice.
That was a fun, adventurous chase scene.
Yep.
That was a good time.
Everybody does something.
Everybody, like, the good old Sami, she's driving the boat, and the lady knows how to drive, and Mako does the fire thing, and it all turned out okay, except it didn't. So they get to the Future Industries warehouse, except...
Everything's gone.
Everything is gone. There's literally nothing left.
Yeah.
And so Sami is she's totally distraught. She's basically given up on everything. I was like, maybe we can check the other warehouses. She's like, no, everything was in here. Like, there's nothing else left. Like, this was everything.
And I'm like, oh, baby.
And yeah, because, like, Future Industries means a lot to her. Because she said earlier in the episode that, like, her mom's dead, her dad's in jail. This is basically all she has left.
Yeah.
And so Mako's like, well, maybe he's still trying to solve the case. And she's just like, man, just give it up.
And he's like, no.
And he's like, I'm not giving up on you. And then they share a look. They share a look.
Uh-huh.
And then she goes for it.
I'm like, good for you, girl. I think you I mean, like, here's the thing. I like Mako and Asami together better. Do I think that they should get back together? No. Unless Mako actually, like, progressed and, like, learned that he made a mistake. And, like, I don't mind it if, like, two people get back together after, like, you've learned your mistakes and you can, like, go forward.
Yeah.
That's fine. They could do that. I don't know if it's going to happen. But like, and also like, I just don't think either of them are in a great emotional state.
No, I don't think anybody in this whole team should be in a relationship right now. There's some things, they got some stuff to work out.
You know who's doing well? Tenzin. He's doing great.
Tenzin is doing pretty darn good in life right now.
Yeah, but like, because like Asami's got the whole warehouse thing, which also brings up a point that I'll bring up at the end.
All right.
So she's not in a great emotional state, and Mako just broke up with this Avatar who he said he was in love with.
Yeah.
They never really say did they say I love you again after the end of book 1?
No, it was only at the end of book 1.
Okay, yeah.
They're like, I love you too. I've only known you for like 3 weeks.
Anyway.
So Asami is kind of like, I guess she's kind of surprised that she kissed him. She seems kind of like, oh, I just did that. Sorry. And he's like, that's fine, but also I'm gonna leave now. Bye.
Bye-bye.
So he threatens Ping, the two-toed man.
Yeah.
And he's trying to find out who hired him. Ping says, like, it was a middleman. Like, we don't really know who hired us. And Mako is trying to get to the bottom of this. So he wants to talk to Bolin.
Who's still being an asshole.
Yeah, he's still being a jerk.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so this upcoming scene that they're about to film has some nice pyrotechnics, which is mover talk for explosions.
And I'm like, shut up, Bolin.
And you're like, okay, whatever, it's fine. And so, but as we start to watch the explosions go off,
they are similar.
It seems there's some similarities here, and they're triggered by something. Some type of device. Mm-hmm. So Mako goes, investigates, talks to a technician, and he's like, "Oh, we use a remote detonator." Then he shows it out. It looks just like the one from the bombing of the cultural center. What's up with that?
What?
What's up with that?
So it's all Varric, isn't it?
So Mako's figured it out.
Hooray!
It was Varric,
which makes sense
the whole time.
Which does make sense because obviously he does what you do if you want. If you want to like make the other side look bad, make them look like they did something bad, which kind of makes Varric become a villain, but a villain that I like because he's a bit gray.
Yeah, he's basically Varric does things for the money. That's really all why he does things.
Which it seems like he is honest about, which I approve honesty.
But somehow he's not like one of those like completely evil villains who's just like just for the money, but he's somehow like, I don't know, he's just a fun character.
Yeah, I like him still.
Even though
he's
kind of antagonistic.
Which is fine.
So Mako goes back to Asami. He's like, Asami, I figured it out. Like, I figured it out. And she's like, oh, who is it? And then like Varric turns around in his chair, and we're like, oh, and he knows, and they know, and we all just know, right?
Yeah.
And then he's like, I need more proof, but I'm getting real close, and I'll tell you later.
And also, we should about Varric bought
a controlling interest in future industries, basically saving her company.
Yeah, but I have a question. So, but it's clear that like probably Varric's the one who hired the.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and he stole all of her stuff. What does that do for him?
Oh well, he so basically he has control over her company now. So he had to make it so there's no way for her company to stand alone on itself. And so by joining up with Varric, he has a controlling interest in it.
Yeah. So and then I think Mako just said, "Oh no, actually, I'm not 100% sure yet, but kind like what she kind of says, but because he doesn't want Varric to know like I'm on to, even though Varric clearly knows."
Yeah.
But also, Cailin, I feel like something was missing from this episode.
It's interesting. I think in a show titled The Legend of Korra, I feel like we're missing something. I think we need a little more legend in this. What do you think? Did I get that right?
No.
Oh, okay. Please fill me in.
Where's Korra?
Oh, Korra. Well, it's funny you say that, right? Because I have this scene at the very end. So if you notice, Korra has been missing for this entire episode, and we don't know where she is. Last time we saw her, she was eating.
Which, like, also because I forgot about this point from the last episode, because I was kind of wondering, hey, how come nobody's asking where Korra is?
Yeah.
And then I remembered, oh wait, she said she was going to the Fire Nation. Yeah. So of course they just think she's there.
Yeah, she's just.
Nobody knows what happened with the spirit thing.
Nobody knows that she was eaten by a spear monster.
Yeah, and then
So it's funny you ask where Korra is because she washes up on a beach somewhere in the Fire Nation, and she's surrounded by some looks like they're like fire sages or something.
They're nice though.
They seem nice, and like, oh, Avatar Korra, what's up? And she's like, who's Avatar Korra?
Oh no, she's got amnesia.
She's got amnesia.
And it's like super amnesia where she doesn't even know who she is.
She doesn't know.
Because sometimes there's like,
where she is or how she got there. She knows nothing.
It's kind of like that thing where there's like, I think there's like a couple kind of amnesias where like I know who I am, but I don't know anybody else in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's like the kind where you know like maybe like who your parents are, but you don't know anybody else. And then there's like this one where like I literally don't even know who I am, which usually means like, okay, I lost my memory clearly.
Yeah. So that was, and that's where we end off. And it seems like we're leading into a very special episode, but who knows?
Who knows?
That was The Sting. What did you think of The Sting?
I liked it better than the last episode.
Yes, me too.
But yeah, and God, I'm really mad at Bolin right now.
Yeah, but Bolin, yeah, I just don't. Yeah, I said this before. Book 2 Bolin just kind of undoes, undoes everything. Undoes.
Whatever.
Everything from book 1, because book 1 Bolin was just a great character. And they kind of took it in the wrong direction, in my humble opinion. They're like, oh, we should go this direction. I'm like, you were going literally the complete opposite way.
Yeah, so I'm just kind of like, but like I liked everything with Detective Mako and his
Detective Mako,
lovely Asami,
and she's so lovely.
That was great. All that was great. And I think the same thing happened with both episodes, which is like there was like a bit at like near the end, like the last like cliffhanger thing that was super interesting.
Right.
And then most of the episodes were kind of just like, eh. Yeah. I like that this one was less, eh.
Yeah.
But still. And I'm like looking forward to what's going to happen next, which you have alluded to that it's pretty good.
Yeah. The next 2 episodes are actually some of my favorite in this season. Mm-hmm. I just think they're really good episodes. So I don't want to hype you up too much for it, but I just thought I'd let you know.
Okay.
So what I like about this episode, I feel like it's a really Asami Mako episode, which is really fun.
Yeah, like they work really well as a team.
Yeah, I feel like in this series we don't get as much teamwork as we did in The Last Airbender. Would you say that's fair?
Yeah, I mean, granted, like unlike like with this show, like everybody also has a bunch of other stuff that they're doing, and like with like The Last Airbender, it was kind of like we only have this one goal.
Right. There's a lot of different things going on at once here, so everybody has to kind of do their own thing. We don't really get as many chances to see Team Avatar come together and really.
But granted, I do like the fact that there isn't just like one set goal.
Right.
I appreciate that there's like, it's not like, oh no, we gotta now attack the water tribes because they're being dicks.
Yeah, it's true. Mm-hmm. And so that's what I like about this episode. We got to get a chance to focus on some people who aren't core. I know you're like complaining.
I wasn't complaining. I found it interesting.
Yeah,
like the fact that like, hey, here's your main character.
Yeah,
and she's not even in this episode.
Right, exactly.
Like, so, I don't know if there probably is like a show where like even like the main character's like not in an episode, but like I can't really.
Last Airbender had 1 episode with Aang not in it.
Wasn't that? that was the one with
Zuko alone. God, what a good episode.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that one.
One of my favorites of all time.
That was a good one.
Such a good, God.
Anyway. Like, you can do that and it works.
Yeah. So I did like this episode for giving us some more characters. Mainly one of my favorite characters. Somebody talk to. So, what am I left? Yeah, so that's what I liked about this episode. It kind of gave us a little chance to see. We kind of took a break from some of the more like Avatar duties. We didn't have to worry about keeping balance. We didn't have to worry about spirits, even though spirits haven't really been playing a huge part anyway in this book 2 titled Spirits. Who knows, really? But so I really enjoyed that. I think the sting operation was just like a good. It was just a good plot that fit 1 episode.
Yeah,
and we could just kind of keep it at that. Worst parts of the episode were Bolin.
Bolin.
Bolin, he just needs to get better.
He needs to realize that this isn't the life for him and go back to being the badass earthbender that he is.
Word. Tell him. All right.
I can't tell him he's not real.
Don't ruin my dreams like this, Dara.
You already ruined Avatar Santa Claus for me.
That was so funny. All right. So do you have any other thoughts on this episode? Any questions, concerns?
No. I'm good.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Good. Well, then, in that case, that is all we have for this episode of First Reaction Fan Reaction. If you like us, you can like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter, both of those at Witty Close. Subscribe to us on iTunes. Leave us some ratings. Leave us some comments. Reviews of sorts. We really love to hear what
positive, negative, whatever.
Positive, negative, whatever. You know, just tell us what you think. Also, like and subscribe and comment on YouTube. We love seeing your thoughts there.
Yep.
Don't forget, if you do comment, we'll we'll read some of your comments and reviews out in a future episode. We really like to see them, and we really like to share them with the world. So it might not be on the next episode, but they might be on a future episode. So keep your ears tuned.
Yep. Patreon.
You can also, if you want to,
if you got some cash.
Yeah, if you got some money to spare, you can always go over to Patreon. Patrons get exclusive looks at our commentary. For example, last episode, we were eating snacks, so you can join us and eat
if
some
you
snacks
like
with us.
listening to people eating snacks.
I don't think it came over through the microphone that bad. But
well,
anyway.
we got the new fancy pop filter thing, so.
Yeah, it's so fancy. We're really fancy. If you think our audio quality is terrible, remember that we depend on people like you to help make us sound not bad.
Yeah, and also if we get enough patrons, then we can start doing some exclusive content for them that we've been planning on doing once we get enough.
Yeah, so we are really looking forward to
We should probably eventually, like, if we get enough, then we'll talk about exactly what we want to do. Unless we want to just, like, we might want to do a podcast for that, like a short one.
Yeah, we'll do it in the future. But until then, join us for our next time for First Reaction Fan Reaction, as we're going to talk Legend of Korra Book 2, Episode 7 and 8, Beginnings, Part 1 and Part 2. It's going to be a great time. I am very excited. Until next time, I am your host, Cailin Clothier, and with me is my co-host,
Dara Whitman.
All right, see you next time. Peace.
Peace.